Hi, I'm Lisa Hilson-Tager, principal here at Holy Trinity Catholic High School. We're really sorry about those technical difficulties. Of course, when we tried it this afternoon and even tried it a half an hour ago, it all worked. And when we were ready to go live, it doesn't work anymore. So we're going to start our night as we always do here with any of our meetings. We're going to begin with our land acknowledgement, and we'll say Hail Mary as our prayer. So let us acknowledge that we are on traditional Treaty 8 territories and the homeland of the Métis. And we will do our Hail Mary in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. We want to welcome you to Holy Trinity. However, this is not the way that we wanted to be able to do this. We wanted to be able to invite you into our school and show you all of our classes and everything in action and have a really fun evening and get to meet you. But of course, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and we are doing things a little bit differently tonight. The way this will work is I do have a moderator here. So we have our vice principal, Mrs. Matsko, and she's going to be fielding some of the questions. So if you have a question and want to send it off right away, just do so in the chat. Some of them she can answer and you will see that come up. Others she will have me share them with you and we can answer them on the feed. So let's get started. First of all, I know that many of you are worried about your child coming here to the high school. Those of you who have children already in high school, maybe not so much, but if your child is the first one in your family to come to a high school, I know there's lots of fears and worries about coming to such a large school. First thing that I do want to let you know is that your child is not coming to high school. They are in middle school and we treat them as a middle school student. So first of all, we do have them in homerooms, very much like they are now in grade 6. And we want to make that transition as easy and as simple as possible from their elementary school. So they will have a homeroom and they will be in what we call a pod. So there will be, for example, a 7A group and a 7B group, and those two classes would share 2 teachers. So one teacher will teach language arts and social studies, the other teacher will teach math and science, and between the two of them, one will do the health and religion, one will do the phys ed. The only time that your child may have different teachers is during the electives. So they get to choose those, and I'll talk about the electives in a little bit later. So because they are in middle school, they have their own schedule and they will have their own lunchtime that is separate from grades 8 through 12. And they are on a closed campus, so our grade 7s do not leave the building during lunchtime. They stay here in the school. We do have a cafeteria where students can purchase lunch in our eatery. However, we do have many of our students who bring their own lunch from home. They will have access to microwaves so that they can reheat anything that they need. The other thing is with our middle school, our classes are in close proximity to each other. So when they are changing classrooms, they are not traveling very far throughout the school. Their classrooms are usually just across the hall or next door to each other. And the only time that they may go out into the hallway is when they are moving around for phys ed and of course going off to their electives. One of the things that I do love about what we offer here at Holy Trinity is we do operate as a team. So we have many staff here who are here to make sure that your child is successful and has all the supports that they may need as they go through life here at the school. So we have, of course, you as the parent who are certainly their first point of contact should they have any questions or concerns. Then they have their classroom teacher. So they would have their homeroom teacher. So if there's any issues, or needs that they have, they would go to then to their teacher. They will also have a vice principal for specifically for grade 7. They will have a counselor who is will be Mrs. Jagnan Kemphoff, and I'm going to introduce you to her in a little bit. And they will also have a classroom support teacher, Miss Kennedy. So if there are anything, whether it's academic needs, whether it's social needs, whether it's classroom needs, there are someone that they can go to. So if they come home and say that they don't have anybody to talk to, then you know the difference, that there is always somebody available to them. What we do love about our team is that that team will stick together and go all the way through the next few years with your child. So it helps to build relationships. You will get to know the staff, the students will get to know the staff, and they will know them all the way through up into grade 12. So with any luck, if we can keep all of our staff and all of our teachers together, that team, so that sometimes there are certainly changes in jobs, they can graduate grade 12 having that same support system in place. Anything that you might need to know about timetables and electives, you can actually find them on our website. That's holytrinity.fmcschools.ca. So in the handbook, you would be able to see a sample of your child's timetable, a sample of our electives. That's one of the big questions that the students have is, how do we choose our electives and when will we know what our electives are? Well, we do our electives based on the experience and the skill of our teachers that we will have with us in grade 7 for next year. So at the beginning of the year, when we return in August, however, what that will look like, the teachers will design what electives they would like to teach. And it is based on the Career and Technology Foundations provided by Alberta Education Guidelines. So those teachers will then develop a little synopsis or a little blurb of what that elective is. We put it into a handbook, and then it is emailed home to the families so that you, the parents, can sit with your child and you can take a look at all the electives that are being offered and help your child make the best choices for their electives. We really want them to experience a large variety of the electives. And of course, our staples are culinary arts and fashion and dance and robotics. And then there's a lot of different ones that are spread out throughout the year. We offer 4 different elective changes. So each term, students will get to choose 3 different electives. That way, some of those most popular ones like culinary arts, the students, we can fit more students through, but as well, they get to enjoy more than just one elective for half a year. So each year or each term, we would send out that handbook to you, and the students will get to choose and make choices at November, and then in January, and then again in April. We also have academies. We're very proud of our academies that we have here. We believe that students like to have a variety of things besides school. So here with us tonight is Mr. Matthew Campbell. He will be our grade 7 vice principal for next year. And he's going to share with you some of the questions, or answer some of the questions, and share with you how our academies work. So I'm going to step out of that chair, and he's going to come into the room, and he's going to share that with you.
Hey, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us in this evening's live stream. I'm happy to join you this evening. Certainly as incoming grade 7 vice principal, I'm looking forward to meeting all of the families and all of the students, and hopefully working with you over the next 6 years as we move your child from grade 7 all the way through to the finish line. But one of my other gigs here at Holy Trinity is that I'm responsible for our Academy programming. And I'm happy to address some of the questions we've received about the Academy programming, about how it works, the logistics, and things of that nature. So our Academy program is outlined in the middle school handbook, which you can access on the Welcome to Grade 7 webpage. But I'll just provide a quick summary of what we do offer for our sport academies, which involves 2 academies per semester. And semester is a new word for kids who are coming into our high school, but we have September till the end of January. That's semester 1. And in that semester, we offer basketball academy and volleyball academy. For our second semester, which runs from February to the end of June, we offer football academy and badminton academy. These academies are value added for their students. They start before school at 7:10 each morning, and they run from 7:10 a.m. to 9:10 a.m., and they feature 2 primary components. That is skill development in the sport of their choice, volleyball, badminton, basketball, or football, and as well as fitness conditioning with our conditioning coach. So each academy is $350, and that is a pay-for-use program, which means it is budgeted in a way that we recover our costs. So we're not charging more than it costs us to run our programs in terms of transportation, facility, staffing, and things of that nature. We are really fortunate here at Holy Trinity that most of our academies happen here in the walls of our school, and that's what allows us to keep our costs low. So our badminton, our volleyball, and our basketball academies are hosted here at Holy Trinity, and for our footballers for second semester, for the period of time where it's too cold to be outside on our field, we do make use of McDonald Island's facility 3 days a week. So our academy program for grade 7 runs for these 4 different academies, and one of the most important messages that we need to get out to our grade 7 families is that no matter which academy you are choosing, you must register for that academy by August 19th. So even if you're thinking about football academy or badminton academy for the second semester, we need to have that registration in place before the school year starts. That is because in grade 7, if you do enroll in a sport academy, you need to be placed in a specific class to make your schedule work. And we do need to have our class lists finalized before the school year begins because we don't entertain switches between homerooms midway through the year. So if you are thinking about football or badminton, it is important that before our deadline of August 19th, that you're able to get your son or daughter registered for that in advance so they're placed in the right class. Now, the biggest question we've gotten is, how do I register for Sport Academy? Well, you can't do it yet. Our Sport Academy registration will open on Tuesday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. It will be done online. The links will be posted to our social media accounts as well as on our website. And it is a simple online procedure. You go in, you fill in a form. You have the option of paying the full academy fee up front or 50% of that fee with the other 50% due at the midterm. If your child chooses to take a sport academy, it consumes one of their electives. So what happens is they start every morning with their academy from 7:10 to 9:10. The academy is their phys ed class, so we assess their physical education outcomes while they're in the academy. And then your son or daughter will take health or religion during an elective block. It is important to us that all of our students still take health religion even if they're in an academy, so we have the schedule set up so that they are able to do that. Now, we do get some questions about Dance Academy, because as you know, not only are we athletic here at Holy Trinity, we also have an art side of things, and we do offer a Dance Academy in grade 8 and grade 9, but rest assured, we offer a full dance program for our grade 7s during their elective time. It is a year for skill building, for exploration, for playing with the different genres of dance before our students decide to join the academy in grade 8. We also offer a jazz band academy in grade 8 and 9, and again, that's the skill building year in grade 7, where if your student is interested in band or jazz, they join band in grade 7, they build those skills, and then perhaps they move on to our jazz band academy for grade 8 and grade 9. So that is the summary of our academy program. Certainly check out the handbook online. You can review all of the information that I just shared with you. You'll find my email address there as well. And if you have more questions about our academy, certainly reach out to me. And now we're going to introduce another person on our grade 7 support team. Ms. Jagnan and Kamphoff is going to be the counselor, and she and I, along with Ms. Kennedy, will be working hard to support our new Northern Knights. So I'm going to turn the live stream over to Ms. JK so she can say hello and introduce herself and share a little bit about what we do here at Student Services.
Thanks, Mr. Campbell. So like everyone said, I'm Mrs. Jagnan and Kamphoff, but that's a lot to say, so everyone calls me Mrs. JK for short. I work as part of the Student Services team to support your mental health and well-being, and it's been a pretty tough year, so it'll be really important to do that in the upcoming months. So hopefully I'll be able to come into your classrooms, do some activities with you, get to know you guys better, and see what your needs are. I work really closely with Mr. Campbell, the Vice Principal, and Ms. Kennedy, who's our classroom support teacher. We work as a team to support you, and we all as a staff feel really lucky to be here to provide this support because we really do care so much about you guys and getting you through to the finish line, as Mr. Campbell said. So we offer personal counseling, group counseling, in-class support, mental health support. We do supports for the whole school. So there are a whole lot of things that will pop up throughout the year. I think one important thing that'll be coming up is Wellness Wednesdays. So that's something to look out for with little tips on how to take care of yourself better in the new year. So that's kind of the gist of it. And I look forward to getting to know all you guys. Should I turn it back over to Mrs. Hilsentegger, our principal?
So I'm just going to share with you now some of the questions that we did send out a Google form earlier and ask some people to send any questions ahead of time so that we can make sure that they are being answered. So one of the things is about how do we communicate home. And first of all, the teachers will gather your emails and your phone numbers, and we will make sure that that is in their system. And then they will be sending out regular emails regarding things that are happening in the classroom. I actually send out an email to parents every Sunday afternoon. It usually comes out around noon. And that is information related to what is going on in the school, what's coming up for the week, a reminder about trips and events that might be happening, and even just school spirit and extra information. So it's really important that when you do register that we have accurate communication information from you. So if you want to receive those emails, we're going to need that. How many kids are there in a class? Well, we are projecting for next year that we will have 7 grade 7 classrooms, which is what we had this year. Each of those classrooms had roughly 30 students in a class. And of course, that's just our projected numbers, and we base that on the students that are currently in grade 6 and in our surrounding area and who would be in our catchment. And then it varies based on families that may move out over the summer, and of course new families that are already starting to register. How are homeroom classes designed? Well, our admin team works very, very hard with the classroom support teachers and the teachers at your child's current school. And they work hard to make sure that those classes are balanced. So they are balanced in terms of academic needs, they're balanced in terms of male and female, and they're balanced in terms of numbers. And I know many of you really want to have your child in a classroom with a friend or somebody that they know, but unfortunately with over 200 students, it makes it very difficult for us to accommodate those requests, as we need to make sure that each of the classes, as I said, are balanced and are supported in the way that we need to have them supported. And of course, with our academy classes, as Mr. Campbell mentioned, it makes it kind of difficult. So unfortunately, we aren't able to accommodate those requests. Do grade 7s have recess? They absolutely do. They will have, at the beginning of their lunch, they will have their recess. So it's one of those reverse lunches. So they will go outside, weather permitting, and we, of course, we follow the district standard of -20. So if it's warmer than -20, they will go outside. We have a field. They can run around for 20 minutes, and then they come in and they eat, and then they get ready for their next block class. Will they have lockers? They will have lockers. Sorry, I've been asked to speak louder. My apologies. Will they have lockers? They do have lockers. Unfortunately, though, we do have quite a few students and not a locker for every student. So our middle school classes do need to share a locker. The lockers are big enough for them to put in their coats, their boots, and their personal belongings. And then their textbooks and their binders and whatnot are stored in crates in the back of their classroom. And these will be issued to our grade 7 students when they come and start school. So they do not come in at the beginning of the year and get their lock and a couple of days beforehand. Our high schools get to come in and pick their lockers, but our middle school wait until the teacher assigns them a locker, and we will give them a school lock as well. How do we support academics and core? That's a wonderful question, because we keep the continuity from your from the grade 6 schools. So we receive your child's literacy information. So what grade level are they reading at? And we continue with a balanced literacy and numeracy approach with our students. So we take that information. We do the reading tests as they have done all year, every year in elementary, and we continue moving forward with that. We do have English language learner intervention supports for those students who are still learning the English language, and we have literacy intervention for some of our struggling students. And we also have numeracy intervention for our students. So we do assess them as well in their numeracy and provide the supports that are infused within their classrooms. As well, any student who is on an individual student plan, so an ISP, those plans will continue. Our admin team will meet with your child's classroom support teacher at the grade 6 school that they're currently in, and we will make sure that we have all of that information that we need to help support them when they get here to Holy Trinity, and we make sure that there is continuity in the supports that are currently being provided for them. So, what is the hot lunch menu? Is it similar to what's happening at grade 6 right now? No, because we have a subcontractor that comes into our eatery and brings in a hot lunch every day. At the beginning of the month, that service provider will send me a menu of what they have planned for the month. I will send it out to you on our Sunday parent email, so you will know what kinds of lunches are being offered. We are changing service providers, so I'm not sure who they will be right now. Last year or the previous years, that hot lunch was about $7. And there were other things that students can purchase. There is hot soup every day, there are sandwiches, there are drinks. And so you can pick and choose what day you may want to treat your child with a hot lunch. Is there a plan in place to review taught from home material? Absolutely. And we haven't sat down to look at what that will look like. We're still waiting, of course, to find out what August is going to look like for Alberta and, of course, for our schools. So once we have that information, we will be looking at how we are going to review and fill those gaps in student learning. Of course, Fort McMurray is a bit of a pro in this area. We recognize that after the evacuation from 2016, that we had gaps in learning and that we had to build up on those skills at the beginning of the school year. So we are prepared and ready to take that on again. And we will meet with our teachers when we are back together to put a plan in place for each of their classrooms to make sure that we are supporting your children because of our off-site learning. So those are all the questions that I have for right now. I will give you another minute or two if you want to send in a question. Oh, here we have one about busing. There is yellow busing for our students who are in French immersion, because we are the only school in the Catholic division that provides French immersion. So how busing works is, if you are more than the 2.4 kilometers from your closest school, then busing is provided. As with the latest Alberta education changes to funding, we know that there has been changes to the cost of transportation. I don't have those details just yet as to what those actual costs will be, but I'm sure we will know those shortly. If you live in an area where busing is provided for a French immersion student, there is and maybe an opportunity for you to get on a list and also be able to get on that bus. Otherwise, our students do take the transit. So bus passes are sold here at the school. You can pay for the entire year, or you can pay for them month to month. And when we get them here at the school, we let the students know through the announcements, and I will let you know on our parent email that they are available for pickup or for purchase at the beginning of each month. Again, we'll just wait to see if that there are any more questions coming through. I know that Mrs. Matsko is busy typing and she's answering some of them along the way. Oh, we are getting some questions about electives, but I think Mrs. Matsko is answering some of those. Again, you can go to our school webpage at holytrinity.fmcschools.ca. In our middle school handbook, you will see a sample of what some electives could look like. But also, if you would like to see some of the electives that we offered for our third term this year, if you go into the middle school section, our current handbook of electives is posted, and you can go in and take a look at that, and you will see the variety of electives that we had offered for our third term. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to our fourth term, so we weren't able to post that one up. But at least that'll give you an idea of some of the electives that we did offer this year. And some will stay the same, and certainly some will change, again, based on teacher abilities and choices. I'm not sure what that says. Have any of our students attended Ivy League schools after leaving Holy Trinity? And absolutely they have. We have many students who have received scholarships and have gone on to some wonderful sporting opportunities. We have students who was offered, Princeton was an offer that he received, and which was the other one? And Harvard. So we did have a student who received offer letters for scholarships at Princeton and Harvard. We did have a student several years ago who won a very prestigious $60,000 scholarship based on her academic skills and her, I'm sorry, I've lost the words there. And we have many Schulich nominations, which is another national and a prestigious scholarship award as well. So our students are certainly go off to great schools and do great things. We have a lot of our students who take the engineering programs after high school. We have many students who go off to do medical fields such as nursing and other aspects of medicine. And I know we do get a lot of questions about the advanced placement. So if you are aware of an AP program that is called, that we do have a school in Fort McMurray that does offer that. We do not offer advanced placement, and I will be completely transparent with you. There is no such thing as an AP program at middle school. At middle school, it is still the same curriculum, Alberta Ed courses that are required by all students. A middle school AP program does not exist. At the high school, AP is a very American style of learning. It is accepted by universities in Canada because they recognize that schools do offer it. However, if it were something that gave our students an advantage over somebody else who was not in the AP program, then by all means, we would be offering AP. However, a student who takes an AP course does not have an advantage into post-secondary over students who do not take advanced placement. Post-secondary universities are looking strictly for that grade 12 final mark along with their diploma, and so a student is on the same playing field as anybody with an AP. The purpose of AP is to do some additional credits. However, there are some concerns that you have to worry about that. Some university programs, for example, the U of A engineering program, will not accept AP credits because they want you to do all of those courses that they offer. Some students who get scholarships and they need to have a full course, they may get credit for a first year English level, but then they have to fill it so that they are in a full-time program. So again, if an AP program was advantageous and that your child would have more benefits, then we would look at offering it, but it does not. Honor roll, absolutely. We do our honor roll at the end of every year. We recognize all of our students. We also do athletic and leadership awards for our students. And we have a couple of levels of our honor roll. So we have a school-based and we have a district-based, and we have, and I'm going to forget, our honors with distinction. It's amazing. You don't have the kids around and you start losing all your vocabulary. And we have a wonderful ceremony for our awards so that we can recognize all of our students, and we invite you in to our theater so that we can call them down to receive those accolades. Another question is, do we offer RAP? RAP is a registered apprenticeship program. We absolutely do. RAP is a high school program that begins in grade 10. So any students who are interested in taking a registered apprenticeship program, they will register in grade 10 and they will start their work placement in grade 11. So that means they need to do all of their components for a high school diploma in grade 10. Then they take the courses depending on the apprenticeship program that they want to take, whether it be welding or wastewater management or electrical. And then they will go out and work for one work term in which they actually get paid. And then they come back for another semester of grade 12, and then they work for another semester. So at the end of their grade 12 year, they will actually have their first year apprenticeship. We don't have a ton of students compared to some of our other schools in Fort McMurray. We had about 40 students take the RAP program, but what I am happy to say is that all of our students to date currently have received placements for their apprenticeship program. So we are quite proud of the work that our off-campus coordinator has done with all of our students. We don't have shops here in the school, like we don't have a welding shop and we don't have a construction lab. However, that doesn't prevent our students from getting into the registered apprenticeship programs. All right. Okay, I think that is everything, and we don't want to keep you here any longer. Thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Our email addresses are on our website, or you can actually phone the school and speak to any one of us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Registration is already open, so you can go online at the district website, register your child. We will receive those, and you will be hearing from us in the fall when we are ready to see those smiling faces again. We're really excited to have them back in September, and so we will reach out to you so that you know the date of our grade 7 orientation program that we do for our grade 7s then. So thank you again. Have a wonderful evening.